What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, as I think a lot of people correctly pointed out this afternoon, there was very obviously a contingency plan in place for Marvel Studios when the verdict was read, because people were still finding out about him being found guilty on 2 charges when they found out Marvel Studios, and announced through most Hollywood trades, had officially dropped the actor and fired him in the role of Kang. Now, in the initial Hollywood Reporter article that made it out basically before anybody else's, they actually remarked that Marvel Studios remained committed to Avengers 5 KANG DYNASTY and brought up the fact that they had just hired Michael Waldron to replace Jeff Loveness in continuing the script. But it would only be about an hour after that before it was officially announced and reported in a myriad of places that Marvel Studios has now changed the title officially of Avengers 5 KANG DYNASTY to Avengers 5, simply a working title. And in the wake of that report, we had several people weighing in, editors from certain Hollywood trades and industry insiders, with what Marvel is looking to do, exactly where they're at, and interestingly enough, and from sources we trust, the future looks split. Some see a future for Kang as a recast, others see a future for a different villain. We've rounded up all the reports in the wake of this afternoon's revelation that Jonathan Majors has been fired from the role of Kang at Marvel Studios, and I'm going to break them down for you guys, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with What If's finale at the end of the month, and then another one right after that to coincide with Echo's drop. So if you want to be entered to win, all you got to do, hit the sub button, leave a comment on this video. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so again, Avengers 5 has officially changed its title from Avengers 5 KANG DYNASTY to simply Avengers 5. We're going to cover 3 reports, one from the editor over at The Hollywood Reporter, another from industry insider Daniel Richtman and Breaking this afternoon in light of all the recent events, and we're going to start with Variety's article. The reason we're starting with Variety is they referenced their article from exactly a week before the Marvels dropped in theaters, where they were the ones who brought up Marvel Studios had previously discussed pivoting to Doctor Doom. Again, this is an article in Variety and less than a month ago. Pivoting to Doctor Doom is an alternate villain for Secret Wars, and if you remember, it was in response to the poor box office for Quantumania, not his legal troubles. And as I remarked at the time, there were some things that were wrong with Quantumania, but Jonathan Majors' Kang was not one of them. Variety today follows up by reporting, quote, Marvel established boundless versions of Kang across the multiverse. Jonathan Majors was meant to embody all of them, a premise that was first explored in Marvel's February feature, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Variety has reported that Marvel executives, led by studio chief Kevin Feige, discussed the possibility of having to pivot away from Kang to focus on another major villain. Now, with Majors' departure official, Feige and his team have some formidable creative decisions ahead, including whether to recast a new actor as Kang or cancel the KANG DYNASTY outright and reconfigure the remainder of the multiverse saga. Now, obviously, the Hollywood Reporter confirming that Avengers 5 KANG DYNASTY had lost its title and internally was now referred to as Avengers 5 sort of points to them reconfiguring the saga and maybe focusing on the villain that's classically featured in Secret Wars from the comics and publishing. Another huge tweet came from an editor over at The Hollywood Reporter, and Aaron Couch, who tweeted out this, supporting that indication. Marvel now has 2 options, recast or focus on a new villain. There are indications that Avengers 5 will now focus on a new bad guy. And listen, from the start and before these legal troubles ever arose for Jonathan Majors, I always thought it was a bad idea to switch Kang with Doctor Doom for Secret Wars, and I expressed that disappointment and from the beginning. But at some point, I was on the Kang train, so to speak, and now at this point, I don't think there's a clean way to do it, and rather than recast, I would prefer them just to pivot into Doctor Doom. I know a lot of you aren't going to agree, and that's fine. I just think at some rate, no matter who they cast, it's going to break the verisimilitude every time you see Kang and it's not Jonathan Majors. No matter who they recast, it will always just remind you that this happened, and maybe we'll buy in and after a while, but make a clean break with this reset and focus on the right villain from Secret Wars, the villain that it should have been from the beginning. Again, that's just my take. You don't have to agree. Now, if you don't agree and you want to see Kang recast, well, you're in luck, because one of the most trusted industry insiders also weighed in with an expose of his own in wake of all these reports to let us know what he's hearing behind the scenes from Marvel Studios with them changing the name. Quote, "Here is what I know," is what Daniel RPK started with, and went on to say this. KANG DYNASTY was set to film in March in the UK. Waldron had been hired in November to write a new draft. At the time, Majors was still attached to the script, so it was very much about Kang. The idea of bringing Waldron in was to finish what he started in Loki. Despite rumors, there was no plan to replace Kang with Doom as the main villain. At best, he would be another villain in the Avengers film. If Majors had been found not guilty, they would have kept him, bad press or not, but they were left with no choice. So now the 5th Avengers movie is no longer called Avengers KANG DYNASTY, but they could change it back. Right now, Marvel is considering their next steps. They haven't decided what to do yet. A final decision will be made soon, and they'll have to tell Waldron if he's going to rewrite this script from scratch or leave it as it is. Now, I know they're saying that Marvel Studios is in sort of a limbo right now, and as more evidence of this, you have to imagine they weren't planning on guilty or not guilty. They probably were in a wait-and-see pattern, but you have to imagine for a year where there was an actors and writers strike going for most of it, when they would have had a lot of time off that normally would have been taken up from live productions, this would have been at the top of the list, and there's probably been a million internal conversations with how they would proceed forward in both cases. I think there is still a chance that they recast for Kang. Daniel Rickman's track record is what it is, so if he's saying this, and he's been saying it since day one, there's a chance. But it's also very interesting to hear two separate other sources in Variety and an editor over at The Hollywood Reporter saying there are indications that there could be a totally separate villain that they would now invest their time into. So you guys let me know down in the comments what you think. Would you rather see them recast Kang, bring a different actor in, and finish out the Kang storyline for the rest of the Multiverse saga? Or pivot into Doctor Doom and invest in him over the next couple of films? And as I've said, if you made it the plan and starting right now, and considering you have plenty of time to do reshoots and rework any other project that hasn't started filming yet, you could give Doom more dialogue and screen time, more setup than Thanos ever got in the Infinity Saga if they decided to do that. And right now, and because they have this year off in 2024 with the reshoots for the 2025 films, etc. Would you rather them pivot to Doctor Doom? I don't think he'll be rushed, but would you rather them pivot to Doctor Doom or finish Kang? I'm all ears, let me know down in the comments. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. We have 2 giveaways in the next 30 days. One on December 30th for the What If finale, the next one for Echo's drop on Disney Plus 2 weeks after that. If you want to be entered to win, super simple. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on all platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.